Alo Minglava. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Myanmar MMTV's news program of the week. We are making adjustments to the broadcast, and now we will resume the news from 7 p.m. on July 20th. We will bring together and present, starting from the situation of interest between the world countries regarding the Myanmar issue, Myanmar's internal situation, and the difficulties currently being faced domestically. My name is Quentin Covington. Let's take a look at the headlines for this week. First, the acting president highlights ethnic liberation movements as a sign of dictatorship's collapse. Next, the NUG Defense Minister, U Yimon, visits the Kowloon District PDF Battalion No. 2. Then, graduation ceremony held for community-based basic medicine training conducted by the NUG Ministry of Health and ABSDF No. 2 Kowloon. After that, we have the NUG Ministry of Human Rights reporting 92 extrajudicial killings in the first 2 weeks of July. Then, the NUG Ministry of Women, Youth, and Children Affairs reports 7,322 women and 832 children dead in ongoing Spring Revolution. After that, the NUG Ministry of Humanitarian and Disaster Management issues guidelines for urban warfare preparedness. And Brave Warriors for Myanmar, BWM, claims that the total death toll of the military junta members in recent rocket attacks on Naypyidaw Aili Air Force Base reaches 34. Then, the Singu People's Defense Team reports that the MDY PDF and allies secured 80% control over the Singu Township. After that, Karenni State Interim Executive Council announces an urgent relocation of the cultural items from Loika Museum amidst threats. And finally, the AAP reports 5,398 lives lost during the Spring Revolution. Moving on to our first subject. Acting President highlights ethnic liberation movements as a sign of dictatorship's collapse. The National Unity Government, NUG, held its 20th cabinet meeting of 2024 on July 16th, with Acting President Douala Shila, Union Prime Minister Mawin Kanteng, and various union ministers and deputy ministers in attendance. During the meeting, Acting President Douala Shila delivered a powerful address, emphasizing the significant progress and strategic importance of ethnic liberation movements in the ongoing struggle against military dictatorship. He remarked on the impressive achievements of the People's Defense Force, the PDF, and the crucial role played by ally ethnic resistance organizations. Acting President Douala Shila praised the Mandalay People's Defense Force, referring to its operations as the second wave of Operation 1027, which has seen success both politically and militarily. He expressed sincere gratitude to the Northern Brotherhood Alliance for their support, acknowledging the critical impact of their involvement. He highlighted that the warm welcome and guidance provided by the ethnic resistance organizations have significantly bolstered the resistance and military efforts of the Spring Revolution. This development, he noted, has become a beacon of hope for the public. Acting President Douala Shila emphasized that while military victories are critical, the success of the resistance cannot be solely measured by battlefield achievements. He stressed the importance of maintaining after occupying military bases in liberated regions, underscoring the need for strategic military foresight and political preparation to consolidate gains. This, he argued, is critical for establishing and securing liberated areas effectively. The acting president urged all government members to align closely with the public's aspirations and to actively work on solidifying the basic areas of the resistance war. He highlighted that the Spring Revolution of 2023 and 2024 represented a critical juncture, combining efforts to eradicate military dictatorship with ethnic liberation struggles. He also highlighted that the successes of the ethnic liberation efforts are indicative of the military dictatorship's decline. The national liberation movements in ethnic regions symbolize the fall of the dictatorship, he remarked. The acting president urged government members to recognize the interconnectedness of the Spring Revolution and the ethnic liberation movements, advocating for a focus on strengthening and expanding these efforts. The acting president also urged vigilance against potential conflicts disguised as ethnic disputes. He urged cabinet members to promote greater harmony among ethnic groups and to strive for unity within the ethnic resistance organizations. The more we can strengthen and expand this situation, the faster we will advance in our resistance and revolutionary war, he stated. In closing, Acting President Douala Shila urged cabinet members to continually analyze the evolving situation of the resistance and revolutionary war. recognizing that the Spring Revolution represents a complex interplay of political, military, and social dynamics. Next, the NUG Defense Minister, Woo Yimon, visits the Kowloon District PDF Battalion No. 2. The No. 2 Battalion of the People's Defense Force, PDF, under Kowloon District, has revealed that Union Minister Woo Yimon of the Ministry of Defense of the National Unity Government, the NUG, visited frontline bases in Kowloon, Saigon region, over 2 months ago. It was stated that the news of the visit was not released earlier due to security concerns. In a recent statement, accompanied by photos, it was revealed that Union Minister Woo Yimon made a personal visit to the front line, where he warmly met with the comrades. During his visit, he offered words of encouragement and provided necessary instruction to the frontline fighters. Next, we have a graduation ceremony held for the community-based basic medicine training conducted by the NUG Ministry of Health and the ABSDF No. 2 column. The All Burma Students Democratic Front, ABSDF, announced on July 16th that the graduation ceremony for a community-based basic medicine training course was held on July 10th. This course was a collaborative effort between the ABSDF and the Ministry of Health of the National Unity Government, and was supported by local communities. The 3-month training course took place in the region under the active presence of ABSDF Column No. 2. It aimed to equip young people with essential medical skills to improve community-based public health. A total of 37 participants, including 26 girls and 11 boys who met the specified educational requirements, attended the course. The ABSDF highlighted that the course was established with the goal of fostering public health initiatives within the community. The local people showed enthusiastic support and contributed to the success of the training program. In addition to its ongoing fight against the military dictatorship, the ABSDF remains committed to public service efforts, demonstrating its dedication to both resistance and community welfare. Up next, the NUG Ministry of Human Rights reports 92 extrajudicial killings in the first 2 weeks of July. According to a newsletter released by the Ministry of Human Rights of the National Unity Government on July 18th, the military junta extrajudicially killed 92 civilians across Myanmar during the first 2 weeks of July. These deaths included killings following arrests and targeted killings without distinguishing between civilians and resistance forces. The newsletter also reported arbitrary arrests, property destruction, and the demolition of religious buildings by the military junta. The NUG indicates that the military junta continues to commit severe human rights violations, with over 350 incidents recorded in the last 15 days. From January to June 2024, the Ministry of Human Rights documented 67 massacres, resulting in 880 deaths. In comparison, 2023 saw 87 massacres, with 873 deaths. The NUG has stated that it is working diligently to address and seek justice for these crimes. However, the military junta responded on July 17th, claiming that over 7,800 civilians were claimed by ethnic armed groups and defense forces from February to June 2024. Next, we have news from the National Unity Government's Ministry of Women, Youth, and Children Affairs, which reports that the total number of women killed during the Spring Revolution has reached 7,322, while the number of children killed has reached 832. This accounts for 19.8% of the total deaths for women and 11.4% for children during the Spring Revolution. These figures were collected from February 2021 to June 30th, 2024. Breaking down the data year by year, 106 women were killed in 2021, 314 in 2022, and 599 in 2023. In the first half of 2024 alone, 6,303 women were killed, making it the highest number of women killed in a single year within just 6 months. The months with the highest fatalities were January, followed by March, May, and June. Regionally, the highest number of women killed were in the Saigon region, followed by Magway region and Shan region. For child fatalities, 95 children were killed in 2021, 177 in 2022, and 355 in 2023, and 205 in the first half of 2024. Of the 205 children killed in 2024, 58.9% were male and 31.4% were female, with the remaining unable to be identified by gender. In 2024, the highest number of child deaths occurred in the Saigon region, followed by Shan State and Rakhine State. Next, we have the NUG Ministry of Humanitarian and Disaster Management issuing guidelines for urban warfare preparedness. The National Unity Government's Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management has issued guidelines to help the public prepare for escalating urban and nationwide warfare. The ministry emphasized that due to the increasing urban battles, residents in cities should take steps to minimize damage from gunfire exchanges. It's recommended that those living in urban areas, where it is challenging to dig bomb pits and trenches like in rural regions, and those residing in high-rise buildings, should arrange for emergency shelters in their yards to reduce the risk of casualties and injuries during dangerous situations. The guidelines include procedures for creating emergency shelters in home yards using readily available materials, illustrated in pictures. The ministry urged people to share these guidelines with their loved ones to ensure widespread preparedness. In other news, the Brave Warriors for Myanmar, BWM, says that the total death toll of the military junta members in recent rocket attacks on Naypyidaw Ayla Air Force Base has reached 34. On July 17th, Brave Warriors for Myanmar, BWM, reported that the number of military council members killed in a recent rocket attack on Ayla Air Force Base in Naypyidaw has risen to 34. Initially, BWM has reported that 4 Air Force officers and 12 other personnel were killed, with 3 Air Force officers and 7 other personnel missing following the attack on July 16th. An additional 18 casualties, including 3 officers and 15 troops, occurred when a hangar containing drones collapsed while they were moving items inside, bringing the total death toll to 34. Media reports indicate the exact number of military junta casualties remains unconfirmed. The statement noted that the joint forces of the People's Defense Force launched the attack on Naypyidaw Ayla Air Force Base using 7 rockets. The attack resulted in the destruction of 4 buildings, an armory, warehouses for aircraft repair parts, and facilities for drones and poison gas bomb preparation. Additionally, an A-5 bomber jet fighter, another jet fighter, and a Y-12 military transport aircraft were reportedly damaged. The attack was executed by BWM in collaboration with the Mountain Knights Civilian Defense Force, the MKCDF, and the Mercury Revolution Force, the MRF, marking their 5th joint operation against Ayla Air Force. The groups targeted the base due to its role as a hub for the military junta's bombing raids across the country and for its use by junta generals and officers for transportation. According to a report from the AFP on July 17th, a security source from the military junta confirmed the attack on the Naypyidaw Air Force Base, but claimed that there were no casualties. Next, the Single People's Defense Team reports that the MDY PDF and allies secured 80% control over Singgu Township. Kota Mani, an information officer for the Singgu Township People's Defense Team, reported that the Mandalay People's Defense Force, MDY PDF, and allied forces now control 80% of Singgu Township in Mandalay region. He revealed that 1/3 of the town has been devastated by fire due to the relentless air attacks by the military junta. Kota Mani further explains that the entire ward of Pipioa and Singgu was destroyed by fire caused by aerial bombardment around 5 p.m. on July 17th. He added, "We control 80% of the town, and the military council is making desperate efforts to retake it." He also noted that the PDF forces have taken control of the Singgu police station. Local residents have reported civilian casualties and difficulties in obtaining detailed information about the situation. Local residents have reported civilian casualties and difficulties in obtaining detailed information about the situation. Approximately 50,000 residents have reportedly been forced to flee their homes. Next, the Karenni State Interim Executive Council announces urgent relocation of cultural items from Loi Ko Museum amidst threats. On July 17th, the Karenni State Interim Executive Council, or the IEC, announced that priceless ancient cultural artifacts from the Loi Ko Cultural Museum in Karenni State have been urgently relocated and preserved due to the risk of loss. This announcement followed reports of stolen items from the museum amidst the ongoing intense fighting in the region. The IEC revealed that traditional items, including utilities, instruments, weapons, ornaments, and bronze drums, were moved to a secure location. The announcement also highlighted that during Operation 1111, which began on November 11, 2023. Military airstrikes and arson have damaged public buildings and religious sites. Additionally, there have been reports of missing public property due to burglaries and theft. The IEC emphasized that the preservation of these ancestral Karenni cultural items, which hold significant value for the Karenni tribes and reflect their historical heritage, is a responsibility of the Karenni people. And finally, the AAPP reports 5,398 lives lost during the Spring Revolution. The Assistance Association for Political Prisoners, AAPP, announced that according to records from February 2021 to July 15, 2024, the total number of people killed by the military junta since the coup has reached 5,398. In addition, AAPP has documented approximately 2,000 more deceased individuals whose names are still unknown and need to be verified. Since the military coup on February 1, 2021, a total of 27,067 people have been arrested and detained, with 20,760 still in detention as of July 15, 2024. Among those detained, 9,335 are reportedly serving arbitrary prison sentences. Of those unjustly sentenced, 124 were sentenced in absentia. A total of 121 individuals were sentenced in absentia, including 44 who received death sentences in absentia. Overall, 168 people have been sentenced to death. The records also indicate that 6,307 individuals have been released. These have been the news highlights we have collected over the past week. Myanmar continues its tireless effort to achieve democracy and human rights. We urge people and countries worldwide to support the restoration of democracy and basic human rights in Myanmar. Thank you for tuning in to MMTV's news program of the week, and stay with us for more updates. My name is Quentin Covington. Jesuba.